They all asked why I had two socks, and I said, no, it's wraps, not a second sock, because I have lymphedema. And then they asked what lymphedema was, and I told them that my lymphatic system doesn't work the same as yours. It's slower.
It was not expected, that's for sure. When he was born swollen from the hips down. His legs were blue. Doctors didn't seem to know what was going on, even though he had a perfect score, was perfectly healthy. No one could really answer for us what was happening. It was really scary, I would say. Out of anything, we went through ultrasounds, CT scans. They finally released us from the hospital saying that he was healthy, but doctors didn't seem to have any sort of take on what it was. It actually ended up being a coincidence that we found out what Tristan had. Was we put him in at about 6 months I went back to work. We put him in a daycare, and at the daycare there was a nurse. One of the parents was a nurse, and she worked with a doctor that treated Milroy's on occasion down in South America. And so we went and saw him, and he looked at Tristan and he said, well, it's not Milroy's, but this is how you can make it better. But that was the start of it. And we had another occurrence where I was visiting my parents in California, and we went to a craniosacral therapist out there because Tristan he was kind of hunched over to one side, which is where we think maybe he was kind of pinned up and didn't develop correctly. And so this therapist worked on Tristan and did some wonderful things and straightened him back out. And so we looked for another craniosacral therapist in Boulder, and we found one. We went to her, and she had a lymphatic therapist on staff. And so she started treating Tristan. Her name was Bonnie. She started treating Tristan. She introduced us to using a taping method on his legs to help the lymphatic system work properly. She helped us with the massage. She taught me a little bit of massage. During that time, I took a manual lymph drainage course that was just a 2 or 3 day course that came to Longmont, and that helped me with being able to do massage on him when he was sleeping. And then she introduced us to the Faro Wrap, and it was through that company that I found out another therapist there in Boulder, Gunter, who started really helping Tristan and I figure out good methods for maintaining and really helping get the swelling out. And that's where we saw an immediate change with Tristan. I mean, as soon as we were able to get that fluid out of the front of the top of his foot, everything on his whole body started to improve. It was like it was backed up. Tristan's been with this group of friends all the way through 5th grade, but he had a field day where they rotate around all different activities, and one of the activities was picking up marbles with your toes, which he couldn't do. I mean, for the risk of catching athlete's foot down to, he's wearing his compression garment. So, but his friends are totally supportive. They've known him all the way through. In 1st grade, he did a 1st-2nd loop, so he was with the teacher for 2 years. We did a little presentation for the kids in the class, just so they knew why Tristan was wearing compression garments. And so these friends are supporting him, and they've supported him all the way through. They have questions. They question him a lot because, they're thinking it's funny, you can't eat this or you can't eat that, or why do you have to get a Band-Aid every time you get a little cut? But, they're all things that they're just questioning it because they're curious and they want to support him in the best way, and that's what they've proven.
I play football, basketball, and soccer. When I'm wearing garments, I feel more comfortable and even now that I have both of them. But when I don't have them on, it feels different because I don't have it on. I'm used to something always touching my skin, and I don't have it touching my skin. It hasn't set me back on sports at all.
Any friends that Tristan gets that he's close to, that he's going to spend time over at their house, that he's going to be driven around by the parents, that he's going to be, the parents are going to be at the field trips, and I'm not going to be able to join them, so they're going to be carrying his first aid kit. And so giving them the information not only empowers them to be able to speak to their kids about it, but it keeps Tristan safe, because if he were to fall and, cut up his knee, typical parent reaction would probably be to wash it out with some water and blow on it, and if it's not bleeding, let it go. the biggest thing that I fear is getting a cellulitis infection. So if he cuts himself over at a friend's house, I need to know that the parent is going to take care of it in the right ways, or at least contact me so I can.
I had a kit in all the every single classroom that I went to, so if I got hurt or scrape, I could deal with it there. Had some triple antibiotic and a whole bunch of Band-Aids. I think it'd be good to talk to others, because if you figure out something, you can tell others and they can spread the word too.
Tristan doesn't know a lot of kids his age that have lymphedema, but he does know a lot of kids who are 4, 5, 6 that we've visited, that we see online on Facebook, that we've connected online. You meet one person on Facebook, they know somebody, so all of a sudden you've got this little community going on your Facebook page of people that know, they've got kids going through similar things, and you can message them and ask questions, and you can develop your little networks. And so Tristan's a real role model for a lot of these kids. So he doesn't really see the impact of what he's doing and what he's teaching them by being there and meeting them, or by giving them advice, or just by his picture being up and him playing soccer, that these kids are seeing that you're not going to be limited by this. You just have to take care of yourself so that you can.
Don't give up, and try to find others that have it to help.
Look online for there's support groups out there, especially for parents with kids with lymphedema. So look for those support groups, because it's super important. You're going to learn little things like how to take elastic out of socks. Just all those little things add up. So I say to any parent out there, don't give up. Look for other parents that you can reach out to, because we've all been through it. So we're willing to share the information.